Okay, so today I'm going to be doing a full bike check. That is everything on your bike, getting it tuned before you go on a ride. Before I go on, I'm going to ask you guys, please like and subscribe to my channel, and go down to the comment section, give me some feedback. This is my first video, so I could really use some feedback. I'm going to be going over 3 main components of the bike for tuning before you go on a ride. That will be the wheels, both wheels, but I will only show an example on one because it can apply to both tires and wheels. And then it will be the cockpit, that's everything on the handlebars, and then some people include the seat, the saddle, and then the seat post in that list. And then I will also be doing the drivetrain, that's everything that controls the shifting. Alright, so I'm going to start with the wheels. So what you want to do first is make sure that all of your spokes are tight. You can do that by picking up your bike, spinning it. If you hear any rattling, that could be it. It could be something else on it. But just make sure to check all of your spokes before you go out on a ride. The next thing you're going to want to check is the through axle. It's what keeps the tire on the wheel on connected to the bike, the main body of the bike. More specifically the fork. And what you're gonna do, if you have a through axle like I do, if it's loose, like it will be like this. There we go. If it is loose, say like this, there will be a little bit of a rattle when you move it back and forth. So what you're going to do, there's a little bit of a notch in the little circular metal part right there, and what you want to do is this way. If you turn it this way, it's going to tighten the lever, but if you go the other way, it will fully loosen it, so it's nice and easy to move around. And then you're going to slip it into the notch and then turn it righty-tighty. That's what tightens the through axle, and then you're gonna tighten the lever up towards the shock, the fork. Otherwise, there's a chance that it'll catch on a rock and then it'll come loose during your ride. In tuning your wheels is checking to make sure that the bead is correctly set with the rim. So the bead is kind of what keeps the air in the tire and not, so it allows it to not escape out through right next to the rim. So the way you know if you have the bead set correctly is if the little rubber ridge that's just outside of the bead, farther towards like the knobs, is just evenly spaced in equal distance all the way around from the rim. And if it's not, there's 2 scenarios. Either it's out farther or it's in, stuffed underneath the rim. And to check that, either the ridge will be farther away from the rim than everywhere else, or you won't be able to see that little rubber ridge. And what you're going to do to fix that is deflate the tire and then kind of move the bead around until you feel like it's evenly spaced to the rim, and then pump up the tire again. Alright, now moving on to the cockpit. That is in everything that's on the handlebar, and then your seat and seat post. What you're going to do is make sure that your grips, your brake levers, and your shifters are all tight on both sides. So you're going to start it on the outside. You're going to kind of pull on the grip, make sure that's tight. If it's not, you will either use a 2 or 3 millimeter Allen key, and in this case mine is a 3 millimeter. So I'm going to just show you what it looks like when it is loose, just so you know. It will move back and forth like this. It'll either rotate or kind of shift outwards. So you're going to take either your 2 or 3 millimeter Allen key, and then you're going to twist it righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, until it is snug. And then it should be good after that. Alright, next thing is the shifters working in. is the shifters, so you're going to kind of want to move that just to make sure it is tight. If it is not, in this case, I believe it is it's a 5mm Allen key that you'll want to use. I'll show you what it will look like if it is not tight, and what this will look like is it'll kind of move a little bit. It'll have some play with it, so you want to get that to where you can easily get to both of the levers, and then you're going to tighten it down. Okay, now you're going to check that again. Now it doesn't move. Okay, now the brake levers, that's the next part in. Right now mine is most definitely secure, but I will check this. For mine, it is a 4mm Allen key that I will use, which is not normal. Normally they're either 5 or 6mm, but this is what it'll have some movement. It'll jiggle and can move in and out when it is not secure. So what you want to do is get that into a position that is comfortable for you. Sometimes riders like to have it more up, flatter, right there, or steeper, easy for different types of terrain. I like to have mine about right in the middle. For me personally, I like to have it in the middle, in between those two. And then you're gonna get it into position where you like it. You're gonna just match. Make sure to have both levers on either side of your handlebar. You want to have them even, just for consistency. And then you're gonna. The way to do this, if it is a little bit rolled forward or backwards or offset side to side, you're gonna want to get it into position. There's usually some markers so you know where to properly put your bike, or your handlebars, excuse me. And then you're going to tighten each bolt down with an equivalent amount of force and the same amount of turns. So what you're going to do is take one or two twists on each bolt until they're all tight. Alright, so the final step is just to go back over all of the things that we made sure that were tight, and go back over, kind of feel them out again, just make sure that they're tight, and that you didn't forget to tighten one of the bolts when you adjusted them. And then you just kind of give your bike a good shake, just to make sure you're not hearing anything rattling. If there is, just seek that out, find out what is rattling, and then of course fix that. If it's like a branch or something that is stuck in your bike, of course take that out. If it's anywhere near anything on the drivetrain, just be extra careful with getting that out, because that is much more of an expensive parts of your bike. If it's a bolt that is loose that you forgot to tighten it down with the part that it is tightening, that it secures in place. Make sure that it is in the right position for you. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Go down to the comment box. Put your comments in there. Give me some feedback. And now you're ready to shred.